Today you are going to learn how to make beautiful stained glass cookies that are as delightful to make as they are to eat. And make sure to watch to the end when we show you a special bonus use that these cookies have. Aloha friends, and welcome to Eating Richly, where cooking time is connecting time. If you're new here, I'm Diana Johnson, a cooking instructor who loves connecting with people through food, and this is Larkin, who always feels loved when we cook together. If you haven't yet tried making glass out of Jolly Ranchers, you are in for a treat. I've been using this technique since 2008 when we started our family gingerbread competition. But before we get to the Jolly Ranchers, we need to make our cookie dough. In the video, we're making a dairy-free version with country crock plant butter and almond milk. I developed and tested this recipe with butter and milk before we learned that Larkin's allergic to dairy. The country crock ended up being really soft for the cookie dough, so make sure you're very gentle cutting it out if you use that. Now let's get cooking, because whether you're cooking with someone, for someone, or for yourself, cooking time is connecting time. Start by putting 1 cup of packed brown sugar and 2/3 cup of softened butter into the bowl of a stand mixer. Beat well until it's nice and smooth.
My brown sugar has some lumps, but they taste good, so we left them in.
Next, add 1 small egg.
If you whisk your egg in a bowl, you won't accidentally drop the cell.
Mix the egg well, and then we go to our dry ingredients. Add 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder to 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour.
Then mix it with a fork.
Next comes a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and a dash of nutmeg.
We use whole nutmeg because it tastes so good.
Unlike the brown sugar, clumps of dry ingredients do not taste good. So after you mix them, sift your dry ingredients into the wet ingredients.
Get all the little lumps out.
Then add 2 teaspoons of milk and mix it together until you have a nice dough. Form the dough into 2 large balls. Then place each one between 2 sheets of parchment paper and roll out to a 1/4 inch thick. Place your sheets of dough into the fridge to chill while you prep the Jolly Ranchers.
First you have to sort the colors.
Then unwrap them and put each color into its own quart-sized bag.
And don't let your little brother steal them.
Place a dish towel over the bags and start hitting them with a meat tenderizer or a big heavy spoon. The shards of candy will make little holes in the bags, so be prepared for some mess.
Making messes makes memory.
You don't need to totally pulverize the candy. Some big pieces are okay.
These are yummy brown sugar lumps.
Now you're ready to cut your cookies. Use a 2.5 to 3 inch cookie cutter, then cut out the center with a smaller cookie cutter. I use a table knife to remove the center. Just remember that dough made with real butter won't tear like this. Once your center pieces are out, you can start peeling the excess dough away from the cookies, and then carefully place the parchment of cookies onto a baking sheet.
Now we get to put candy in.
For a clean look, make sure that no candy bits are on the dough. Then put the baking sheet in the fridge for 10 minutes while your oven preheats to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake the cookies for 7 to 10 minutes until the edges are slightly golden and the candy has just melted.
You have to really watch them.
If the candy starts bubbling before you pull them out, you can pop those bubbles with a toothpick, but the melted candy might go up the sides of the cookie a bit. Let your cookies cool completely on the parchment before removing them to eat or store. To store the cookies, make sure you place them between sheets of parchment paper in an airtight container. Without the parchment, the candy windows will stick to other cookies and can tear them.
But they still taste good.
These cookies are such a fun contrast in textures between the sugar cookie and the crunchy candy glass. They're perfect with hot cocoa for a family holiday baking tradition. They make wonderful edible gifts, and they are a big hit at cookie swaps. We like eating them during our family Advent wreath time. But there is another fun way you can use the stained glass cookies as long as you don't try to eat them after. Before placing the broken candy-filled cookies in the fridge. Use the small end of a chopstick to poke a hole in the top of the cookie. Bake the cookies as usual and let them cool completely. Then you can place an ornament hook through the hole to turn these cookies into beautiful Christmas ornaments. You can hang them on the tree or even make a garland for your window. We hope you and your family are having a wonderful holiday season. Let us know in the comments what you're up to.
We love reading comments.
Just remember that whether it's with me, in the comments, or out in the world, you can be real and be kind. If you love baking, make sure to check out our best blueberry muffins, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, put that in the blooper too. Okay, but no more bloopers for this take. If you use that. High five. Who did it?